All right, and we're back. Thanks, everybody. We're here on our special return edition into our second season, I guess it would be, of Storytime with Uncle Punky. I am Uncle Punky, typically joined by Space Wife. She's joined me, but we're not ready to do that today. So we're just decided to do a nice little fun thing for all the kids at this special time of year. And remember, when you're out there trick or treating with your kids, nobody's going to give them free drugs. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody's going to give them candy laced with anything because that shit's expensive. Okay? Keep that in mind when you take your kids trick or treating. Or just make sure and go through their candy like we do before you give them to them. So you can get all the good stuff.
Or go to the party where they're
Or go to
serving
the
those
party.
treats to you.
Exactly, yeah. And, get a babysitter and find out where they got that stuff. But we're going on with pumpkin carving today because I decided it would be good to do for the holiday season. And also, I figured, why not give you guys some stories? Story time, after all, whilst I carve said pumpkin. So while I do that, let's talk about some stuff I found on Ranker. Ranker.com is amazing. It's one of my favorite websites. It has just list galore of everything. It goes from 80s toys, horror stuff, anything. Anything and everything you could find on Ranker that you want in list form, it's on there. And they also have various stories of things. Like gravestones. Gravestones galore. Some of them can be kind of cryptic. Okay, when people are buried, you can put whatever they want to, leave their legacy in stone for eternity. As people come to visit, they can come for words of wisdom or just pay their respects, whatnot. Some of these are weird. Some of these are very weird. How weird, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you. There's what's that?
Show 'em.
Show them. Oh, hey, there it is. Graveyard Shift on Ranker.com. This one is about a Jane Doe, Princess Doe. She was missing from her home, dead among strangers, remembered by all, born, they don't know, because she was Jane Doe. But they found her July 15th, 1982. The body of a teenage girl was found in Cedar Ridge Cemetery in Warren County, New Jersey. After being beaten to death, her body was thrown into a ravine next to the cemetery grounds. Well, it's the fact that she wore nice clothing and appeared to be in good health. They gave her the name Princess, so Doe has never been identified. Killers have never been found, and as a result, her gravestone now reads Princess Doe. This one is about a teen done in by human wolves. Murdered by human wolves, it says. What does that mean? That's not as exciting as you may assume. Apparently, it's sad, more than anything. Okay, the criminal operation had resulted in a death. A medical accident or malpractice procedure was an abortion. In those days, abortions were extremely illegal. Okay, ones available came with dangerous risks. So when she went to receive one of these operations, accidentally killed her as well as the fetus. So the doctor was eventually charged, dismissed, caught, all this stuff. And the satisfaction her parents got to have was the final few words that were left on the gravestone. What else do we got? Eugene. Eugene was found dead in 1929. He was buried in 1964. How, may you ask, is that possible? Well, the body of an older black man appeared in Ohio on the side of the road. No one ever identified the body, nor where it came from. They found an address on him that only led to a vacant lot, and the next door neighbor's was named Eugene. So authorities gave him that name. Rather than burying them, they put the body on display as a roadside attraction. He was given a new suit every year or so and acted as this roadside tourist mummy for 35 years. And then he was finally laid to rest and given a headstone in 1964. So there's finally a happy ending to all that. This one just says specimens. The Ohio Asylum for the Insane Cemetery are numerous, but two of them stand out as a little disturbing because rather than containing a name or even a date, they simply read specimen. Is it a last name? Who knows? The bodies of children... Right, yeah, just specimen. Bob Specimen. The bodies of children experimented on with untested medication. Many theories exist, especially considering the sordid reputation of the asylum, because, Ohio's known for a lot of sordid nonsense. Baby Monster. Born October 23rd, 1888. Doesn't say that she died. Mysterious gravestone. Could have been something to do with the monster being the last name, rather than a descriptive term. Yeah, I mean, during this time, the word monster describes someone or something with a severe deformity. So it could have been a baby who was deformed in some way. Or just as disturbing, the baby was never given a name. Almost 5 months old, never given an official name, was buried under the simple moniker, Baby. Or maybe it was a monster. Who knows? How about Sir Geoffrey Hudson, 1619 to 1682? He was a dwarf presented in a pie to King Charles the First. He's known as the dwarf to the king. Was a favorite companion to King Charles and his queen. He lived, possibly worked as a spy, served as a slave, became an amazing storyteller in the English court. He was first introduced into court in a pie by leaving out to surprise the king. He eventually garnered the nickname Lord Minimus. He died in the late 1600s, unknown and in exile, and buried in a mass grave. So that's kind of sad, I guess. But the fact that he was presented to a pie, I actually thought King Charles I ate him, according to that story. It was very, very misleading. Kate McCormick. Kate McCormick, this one is kind of sad. She died in poverty and shame from her family, trying to get an abortion after becoming pregnant from her marriage. Even in the 1870s, the death still left those who created the tombstone feeling pretty guilty, which is all spelled out right here. Kate McCormick, seduced and pregnant by her father's friend, unwed she died. From abortion, her only choice. Abandoned in life and death by family, with but a single rose from her mother. Buried only through the kindness of unknown benefactors. She died February 1875, age 21. A victim of an unforgiving society. Have mercy on us. That's deep. How would you feel about that? Ugh. They never figured out what happened to her either. Ugh, sad. What's the first part of that say, Joe? Something Dolency. Mary C. Dolency. That's what it looks like. As you might guess, felt no love for her neighbors. However, she took her animosity to a whole new level, entertaining paranoid delusions that all her neighborhood conspired against her and meant to do her harm. A loner and a cat lady, she left almost everything to Massachusetts Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. You only got half of the story, folks. Sorry. She died in 1985. During her life, neighbors said she would pick feuds and shine lights at different people. Since her death, most townspeople say the curse has had little to no impact on the community. Yeah, what's the tombstone say? May eternal damnation be upon those in wailing. I can't. Wailing over who, without knowing me, have maliciously vilified me. May the curse of something be upon them and theirs. Wow. She cursed them on her tombstone. She was that mad with Massachusetts. Jeez. I wish I could have read that better. He never killed a man that didn't need killing. Robert Clay Allison. That's a old Wild West gunfighter, 1887. Not before he killed a whole lot of other people first. He fought for the Confederacy in the Civil War. Afterwards became a rancher and a gunfighter. He fought pretty much whoever challenged, including those who served the law and considered himself not above breaking it. He went to jail in order to exact vengeance. Vigilante justice on prisoners. That's ridiculous. He went to jail, Punisher style. He went to jail just so he could mess up some people's day. Rather than dying in a gunfight, however, a wagon ran over his body and broke his neck, killing him when he was 46 years old. That's a way to go. This awesome gunfighter. You're brave. Riding horses through the West, wrangling stuff. Race car driver. Infection. Right. Something that has nothing to do with that. All right. Herman Harband, 1918. My wife, Eleanor, Arthur of Queens, New York, lived like a princess for 20 years, traveling the world with the best of everything when I went blind. She tried to poison me. Took all my money, all my medication, and left me in the dark. Alone and sick. It's a miracle I escaped. I won't see her in heaven because she's surely going to hell. His headstone, it's just brilliant. Herman Harbin is not buried there. He had the headstone made for himself after he divorced his wife, and you can see plainly the state of mind as he was being superbly honest, believed that she wanted to kill him. However, he later remarried happily, passed away, and now he's buried. He was buried in 2011 in Raleigh, North Carolina. His old headstone remains in storage in Florida on a plot he has planned to be buried in as soon as it's been resold. So that would have been great. It's like, I hate that woman. She tried to kill me. Never again. Never forget. A gay Vietnam veteran. When I was in the military, they gave me a medal for killing 2 men and a discharge for loving 1. That's sad. That is sad. Because that was well before any of the the don't ask, don't tells, and they let them in and they don't let them in. But yeah, I think that's one of the. They since obviously changed the Air Force's policies, but that's.
Yeah, that was in '88. It looks like.
Yeah, he had complications due to HIV and AIDS, so that's sad. But he got a Bronze Star and a Purple Heart for his service before being discharged for homosexual activity. Wow, that tells you something. Right. Mona Harold Vanny, October 14th, 1912 to April 11th, 1996. You spent your life expressing animosity for nearly every person you encountered, including your children. Within hours of his death, you even managed to declare your husband of 57 years unsuited to being either a spouse or a father. Hopefully, you are now insulated from all the dissatisfaction you found in human relationships. Wow. Buddy, Jackie, and Mike. Those must be the kids.
Yep.
A horrible mother. Yep. Still carried the scars with them. They stuck it right on her tombstone. Wow. The sentiments on her grave barely covers the brutal treatment we each received, says the children Jackie. I got the worst as I looked and acted like my father, who I never saw as a little child. He was killed in World War II. So she was just a beast of the woman. Lily E. Gray, 1881 to 1958. Victim of the beast. 666. The beast. I hope you never have to encounter the beast. The beast. I love that movie. Salt Lake City Cemetery. Little is actually known about what happened here. Her obituary said she died of natural causes. Her gravestone marks her as a victim of the beast. Okay. That might hint at the fact that her husband, who she married at 72, was imprisoned in the past for criminal activity. Nearby area also saw a great deal of Aleister Crowley's followers. Aleister's followers. So perhaps him and his minions had something to do with Gray's death. The beast. The grisly tale of rabies and suffocation. Memory of Mary Jane McCune, wife of James W. Farrar, born about 1838, died 1855. Why are they not sure? Bitten by a rabid coyote, developed rabies, became violent, was smothered with feather bed when husband returned. She and her unborn child were dead and buried. That's pretty simple right there.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Horrific.
that's all they know is pretty much what tell you. Her rabies got bad without treatment, and soon she acted out violently. She needed to be restrained and was smothered to death as a result. Wow. People were 1800s are no joke. The grave of a man crushed by stones during the Salem witch trials. Giles Corey, pressed to death. In 1692.
Like with an iron?
Nope. With a rock. 20 people were executed during the Salem witch trials in the early 1690s, common knowledge, most of which were women. Giles Corey, however, received a different sentence. During his trial, his torturers tried to convince him to admit to practicing black magic and was devoted to the devil. They did this by piling more and more rocks on his chest, little by little. All his neighbors watched as he was crushed in a pit, only willing to add more weight than confess. I mean, something he had not done. These proved to be final words as he was pressed to death and was burned in an unmarked grave. So they buried?
Yeah.
It is buried. Not my old eyes. This man who befell a terrible medical tragedy. Can't read it. Don't know what it says. We're going to skip it. Here's the gist of it. Lethargic. Doctor's work nearby became convinced he had something more serious. Gave him morphine. The salmon quickly fell unconscious.
Fish?
Maybe. I should have probably read the rest of it. And thereafter died. The man had taken a huge number of doses of morphine. Not quinine? Quinine? Drug clerk's carelessness. That guy died. That's not good. An artistic gravestone. Oh my. Ironfoot Eva. 1800-1830. By Gigantus? Does that say Giantess?
300-pound giant.
300-pound giantess, poetess, singer, and blacksmith. Killed on her wedding day by an unknown rifleman. Wow. That's an unusual grave. It belongs to a sideshow performer called Ironfoot Eva. Statue built by John Ain and is located in Old Tapper's Lodge in California, where the grave site is still the actual sideshow performer. Whether it's just a pretty piece of art is not fully known. If it is true, her story is a tragic one. Hopefully one that will come to light someday. No, that's not. Okay. Remember, thou art mortal. Reader, beware as you pass by, as you are now. So once was I. As I am now, so you will be. Therefore prepare to follow me. Ooh. Wow, that's deep.
Dr. Seuss.
Right. It's supposed to be just an explicit reminder of our own mortality. This phrase often comes across as more as a threat than a casual heads up. And just as that, if you see one of these, it comes, an old poem often seems on Irish, English, and, what's the other one? Irish, English, and Scottish headstones, yeah, dating all the way back to the 1600s. They gave these poems as a threat. Stay the hell off my lawn, I'm assuming. Jerry Bibb Balasag, born September 8th, 1955, murdered in Guyana, November 13th, 1978, buried in Oakland, California, May of 1979. Damn the State Department. Professional wrestler. Later became a fugitive from the law. He's facing charges of fraud, remained unseen for 6 months. Investigations turned nothing up. His mother picked up a copy of Life magazine, and that's how they learned of what happened to him. Victims of Jonestown. Oh, he was a victim of Jonestown. Neat. That's crazy. Huh. Never knew that. That's it.
I guess he drank
That's my list. That's my list of things. All right, we had to go over some fun stuff because I hung out with the goth crowd before. They were always in cemeteries. You'd find some cool ones from time to time. My stepdaughter is still obsessed with holding her breath when you go by a cemetery. I don't know if you ever did this as a kid. She does this, so I like to stop when the kids do that. I'll just stop. You're like, how long can you hold your breath? Nope, you just swallowed a ghost. I hope you feel better about yourself. You inhaled a ghost, and that's disgusting. All right, back to the pumpkin carving. They still gave me a knife to do this with because they thought it was a good idea. I've already semi-perforated my pumpkin, which is important to do. Let's turn this into like a Bob Vila thing. I perforated my pumpkin a bit because these are terrible. These are the flimsiest damn things I've ever seen in my life. However, they do work as a good sawing utensil to get through the freaking pumpkin. Oh, that's not good. Nope, that one's stuck, and it's not following the perforation as it was supposed to. I think I should just leave the thing jabbed in his eye. To be honest with you, I think that's a good look. All right, now I gotta finish it. All right. I'm not good at this today. All right, I gotta carve up with more of the sharp utensil, which it's a bad idea. I don't know why you guys let me do this. This is what I get for hosting my own thing. They're like, oh, you can do the dangerous stuff. It's fine. I can. You're right. I'm doing it. I do. Where is my stunt double?
Right here.
Right. He's on vacation. Oh, not too far. There we go. That's all right. We're back on track. No, we're good. All right. So I'm kind of doing the quasi-traditional pumpkin head, jack-o'-lantern face. There's gonna be eyes and a mouth, and then we're gonna light this bitch on fire. Because that's what you're supposed to do with it, right? I'm asking rhetorically, I suppose, at this point. As you will see, there is some marker on my pumpkin, because I thought I'd be able to capture the magic without having to spin this bad boy around, but guess what? I had to spin it around. So that just kind of ruined the whole thing for me. So here we are with this pumpkin. Gotta get it out of there. All right. Now, it's never easy to just poke things through, so it really helps if you kind of divide it into sections and segments, because then it'll pass through your... Oh, no, that one came right out. Never mind. Scratch that. Forget what I said. All right. After that's done. I got it. It's fine. I'll help clean it up. All right. I like to get in there and kind of like trim some of the ends. You got to clean it up a little bit. You can't have it looking all disastrous. That's just ridiculous. So, shape it a little better, if you will. A little bit more sculpting, manicuring the eye socket of the pumpkin. And kids at home, don't ever manicure your eye sockets. That's not a thing. That's bad, and you will hurt yourself. And then your parents will blame me, like they did the Ozzy records back in the day. I don't need that. I don't need that on my consciousness. All right. So consciousness. Irregardless. Oh, wife.
I will fight you.
She will fight me too. So this might be an extra special episode of Storytime. Storytime Underground Fight Club. All right. As I hack the remaining little pieces out of his eyeball, he's looking good. He's really coming along, folks. I can't wait to I can't wait to share this with you, the viewers at home. Now, if you call now, we will throw in this set of pumpkin knives. They're not mine, so we can't do that, I don't think. Pay no attention to what I'm saying. All right. I have the bulk of it done. And, wife, when you take these, you just put them on a big tray, stick them in the oven, seasonings and all that.
Let them dry a little bit.
Let them dry a little bit. Copy that. Okay, and then you
Coat
eat them.
in
All right.
butter and my secret seasonings.
Oh.
I'm gonna
Her
Tell
11
the
special
world.
herbs and spices that she has.
I'm not telling people my secret.
Yeah. So, butt out, America.
You can't have my recipe.
You can't have a recipe. You just can't. It's a family
Butter
secret.
and seasonings, you throw them in the oven, you bake them.
There you go. That's it. That's all you need. That's all you need to know. And those are just the basics of it. Joe, does your restaurant cook any fancy like pumpkin spice things? Are they doing Halloween themed stuff at your restaurant?
Nope.
Nope.
Same boring menu.
Same.
At least it's not basic white girl menu.
Oh, then it would just be pumpkin spice everything.
Pumpkin spice
You know, I got a pumpkin spice latte.
She
Just
did.
just one.
She did. It happened.
Just.
Alright, she's talking. We're zooming in on her.
Nope,
No,
don't do
you're
it.
not. I will
Oh, dude.
kill
You know better than that.
you. Basic white girl.
Right.
Can't even enjoy a pumpkin flavored anything without being
No, you can
basic
have
white girl.
Pumpkin flavored is not pumpkin spice flavored.
But
What's the difference?
you can't eat just pumpkin. It's gross.
Then why do people put it in a pie?
Because of the spice.
Oh.
It makes it tolerable.
Okay, I guess so.
It's the spice. It's always the spice.
That's what the problem with Dune was.
What do you expect? Juice?
Dune. It was all about spice. Or the spice mines. The spice mines in Kessel. Where they crush robots.
That's the only other place in the universe where spice develops.
Yeah.
It's not Kessel.
Right. Is in Dune. Alright. I may have put a little bit too much detail in this part, which is going to cause a little bit of a problem. Because it's making my hand tired. But it's going to be totally worth it, you guys. I hope. Ooh. This knife thing is about to break. Alright. And I think I've slid our pumpkin. No, our pumpkin's actually remained in. Look at that. I did bend it. There is no spoon. I gave the old matrix. I bent it with my mind. So, because this thing is so flimsy and weird, it may have caused what I was doing on the side to possibly have gone a little cuckoo bonkers. So, let's see what the results are of this. Exactly what I thought it would be. Get out of there. And you know, this is probably going to be a lot of people's new favorite video, because who doesn't want to sit here and watch some butthole try to carve a pumpkin in real time? And the fact that I have production people here in studio with me watching me carve this pumpkin in real time. Yeah.
It's all about the ratings.
Who's
man.
the foolish one now? Yeah, the ratings. We're going through the roof on this one, I think. This is going to be our blockbuster episode. This is the one that's really going to bring the attention to us, I think.
Especially with faces like that.
Yeah, I know. We're going to get a lot of respect from our peers. People are going to be beating down our door just to get our pumpkin carving skills. All right, I can't get this part out. That's not a bitch. Hey, oh, there we go. Get it. All right. See, this is the problem with doing the narrow parts, folks, is that you really got. Yeah. Hold on a second here. That's not working. I'm not sure exactly what I did on this part here, so bear with me. I'll get it. It's coming. It'll go. This is a little bit hard to thin out through here. But we will manage. And we will make him just as terrifying as we need to be. Oh, God. Alright. I'm glad you're all still with us. If anybody is actually still with us. We appreciate you tuning in to our brand spanking new blockbuster of a second season. We are going to go after a bunch more material as we get into this season. I am proud to announce that Space Wife has got her own little sciencey segment. We're gonna let Space Wife learn you folks a thing or two about a thing or two, because she knows science, and she knows nature. She knows plenty about animals and such, and that is a true fact. So I would like her to indulge the rest of you like she indulges me all the damn time.
School you?
I don't think schooling me would be the proper way to say that. Helping to educate me, that probably sounds a little bit better. Unless you wanted to come off kind of pretentious. I mean, then you could say it the other way if you want to.
Well, is she teaching you? I mean, that.
Not really.
Schools you.
I'm watching the same thing she is, sort of. It's just she pays more attention, and she retains the information. So, you know, it's a little different that way. But no, we've decided that it would be great for Space Wife to educate the rest of you folks, because why am I the only person who needs to learn things? Answer, I'm not. It was rhetorical. I answered for you folks. It's okay. I don't know what's going on with this piece here. I cut into you like 5 times. Get off. Dear Great Pumpkin, everybody's cray-cray. And we are going to add another feature on this, and that would be movie trailers. I love movies. I'm a big fan of movies. We watch a lot of movies, wife and I. Wife and I watch a lot of movies. Mainly we try to stick to the riff tracks and the Mystery Science Theater. Not always. We like to expand our horizons. So what I thought we would do is my good friend and producer, Chuck, over yonder, he has chosen some trailers. New to me. It's like I've never watched a movie a day in my life. He's going to introduce me to these new films, these hit coming attractions. So we're going to check those out in probably just a little bit. Odds are I'm not going to finish this pumpkin on the show today. Maybe we can give you the final results as we watch the trailers. I'm going to do my best. Okay, I'm moving right along. I think it's coming along a lot better now.
Martha Stewart.
Oh, jeez. Martha Stewart ain't no snitch.
Well, cut to commercial then.
Cut to commercial. Let's do that. Commercial time. Let's hear from Pucks.
At Schaefer Orchards, our hard cider is so good, it pours itself. Don't believe me? Oh, I got you. Puck cider.